So, hi, hello, and welcome to another episode of Weekly Talk with Hanna. It's been a week, and we have done a lot. I have been dying. It's Monday when I'm filming this. Actually, for the first time in ever, I actually filmed this on a Monday instead of the day it was going out. But yeah, I've been dying to talk about this one book that I read yesterday, like on Sunday, which I've been dying to talk about that because I've been like nagging and gnawing and everything about this book. So we will soon talk about that. But let's start with movies. So I basically been on a Marvel, let's call it grind, to kind of finish off what I have watched before, and it's kind of like, yeah, I'm just like trying to get these done so I can, get to the ones that I haven't watched, which at this point we will get a lot of TV shows that I haven't watched and we are going to get to. So, yeah. But first, I have like two movies that I haven't watched yet, which I will probably try and do within the week. So, first one is Thor, and Thor is Thor, it's interesting and I like it. And yeah, I just feel like Marvel are not like these are my like favorite movies of all time. I can watch them. I don't particularly love any one of those. They are like 4 stars, fine. Some of them are like 5 stars, but they aren't like this is a new favorite movie. So yeah. Then Avengers. I think like Avengers was. I don't remember. I might have watched Avengers before like anything, and then I went back to watch like Iron Man and Hulk and everything like that. So I think that was I don't really remember though, but yeah, it's been a while. So watch that again. And yeah, I think just because I watched the Avengers and then my sister said like to kind of know the backstory of all these people, you need to watch these movies, and I was just like, okay. Then we obviously have Thor: The Dark World, which is another Thor movie, and yeah, so far it's going good. Then Iron Man 3, which I don't remember if I watched all Iron Man movies on in like cinema. I don't really remember, but yeah. And then Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Those are like the movies that I have watched this week, and it's been like it's been a journey, it's been a ride. So yeah. Overall, it went fine. Can't really say I don't know. I haven't watched anything new in such a long time, and I'm kind of like happy that I can finally move on to something that I haven't watched before and can go over that. So TV shows. Okay, let's see if I can remember everything though. So the first one, let's talk about Agents of Shield, like season 1. You have to watch those in between like the movies that I have watched, so I just like binge them whenever so I can get to the next movie, and just like trying everything, and it's fine. I don't know. I feel like I am like in this like I don't feel like doing anything. I don't feel like watching anything, so that's kind of where I have been. So yeah. And then I have watched Unsolved Mysteries, and there have been some sad cases lately on that, but some of them I have just been like I don't know about these. So, and then let's see. Then I have watched still Homestead Rescue. I find it really interesting, and now definitely I like more when the people they are helping is actually up for whatever they are saying, like you should do this. Just because some of them have been really annoying with just like I don't want to do what you are saying, and then they are just like I don't really know what to do, just because sometimes what they are saying is probably the best. And yeah. And then obviously I watched a little bit of Sister Wives, have been trying at least to get to that, and yeah. And then I haven't watched kind of a lot else. I have finished Code 1, minute by minute. Something in those lines, like the thing that I was supposed to finish. I think it's Code 1. And basically, that one have been interesting. And now I don't have anything more to, watch from there. So, yeah, we are finally done with that. So I can start with something else. So I finished that on Sunday, which was great. Those were kind of movies and TV shows. I feel like I don't have a lot of things to say about this just because, like the movies, I have watched before, so I don't have actually kind of that much to say about them. And then for TV shows, I feel like I am watching a lot of like documentaries, true crimes, and that is making like I don't have much to say. And then Agents of Shield, I have watched the season 1 before, so it wasn't like anything new. So it's going to be interesting to see kind of like how do I feel now that I'm done and can continue on. And it can actually be, let's call it surprised by a movie again. If I, continue on with Marvel just now, I don't really know, to be completely honest. So yeah. Let's go over to let's go over to books just because I have so much to say about some of these. So I just need my phone. So first one I first thing I read was Never Too Far, and that is the second book in the Rosemary Beach series, and we are still following Quinn. No, not Quinn. Rush and is her name Bryce? Something like that. And in this one, now let's face it, I will probably be spoiling some of these books. Let's just face it, because I have to talk about some of this. So in this one, basically, no, her name is Blair. Blair finds out that she is pregnant, so she kind of goes back to Rosemary Beach, and Rush is kind of starting to try and get back into her good graces, and I mean, yeah. But Rush is still Rush, and he has really trouble, like when his sister Nan is in trouble or anything is happening, he's kind of like dropping everything and only cares for her, and kind of forgets that Blair is pregnant. Blair will need some assistance, and something happens and they are calling him like crazy. He doesn't answer, and basically she's all alone with this pregnancy. She has some scares, and the person who is there is Woods, which is kind of like, Rush doesn't even like him, but he is Blair's like what's it called? He is basically the owner that owns or kind of owns the place where she works, and basically I have to say that Rush is kind of annoying when he gets into those like moods, just because Nan is basically in the hospital, and he only cares for Nan and is not caring about Blair. And I just feel like, yes, you can still care about your family once you get together with someone, but overall, once you leave your pregnant girlfriend back at home, then your phone, like once she or anyone close to her calls, you pick up. So, yeah. I mean, always you pick up that phone, even if you are struggling, even when your sister is lying there and she is kind of like in a coma, and the thing is that, yes, but someone else can sit there while you actually check on your girlfriend. And Blair is so supportive, and sometimes I just get annoyed with how much she puts up with. Can we just say that? Yeah. But I mean, overall, Rush wants, yeah, he comes back groveling, can we just say that? But it's, yeah, I would have been mad. So yeah, let's go with the next one. That is Out on a Limb. I feel like, can we just say that this week was the week of, it hasn't ended, by the way, but this has been the week of like surprise pregnancies. Can we just say that? So, Out on a Limb, basically it's about Bo and, this is about Bo and Win. And basically what happens is that they sleep together at a Halloween party. And Win ends up pregnant and she basically calls Bo. And can we just say Bo is the cutest guy ever. I gave it 5 stars. I loved it. It was so cute and I loved Bo. And I just felt like he was just like, he didn't want to push her. Now, he really liked her, but he didn't want to push her into feeling like something. And it kind of ended up with her thinking that he didn't like her. And it kind of, yeah. So they eventually like talked together and it was really good. I know not everyone loves this. I feel like this is one of my best surprise pregnancies books I have read, just because Bo is so cute and it kind of makes up for it. And he's so supportive and yeah, definitely loved it. Then I read Forever Too Far. And this is the 3rd book in Rosemary Beach series, and we are still annoyed with Rush. So basically in this one, Nan has figured out that she has a different father than she first thought, and basically is extremely mad. And basically Rush's dad asks if he can come and kind of like try and get some, like basically gets a hand on like whatever he can do with her sister to calm her down, because she is pissed. And basically Nan is, I have to say, I feel like she's very insecure in herself, with the way that she thinks that everyone is choosing someone else over her. And basically she decides to overdose. And then Rush finds her and basically is rushed to the hospital. And he forgets his phone at her place. And then basically Blair, she has another scare and goes to the hospital with Nan's sister. So she has a different sister now. But basically, they are trying to call Rush and he don't answer. The same old. And yeah. So basically, Blair decides that she's going to go to her father's just because she don't feel like she don't want to be there anymore. She don't want to be in the way. So she leaves for her father, and then Rush comes back and she's gone. And yeah. It's just a whole mess there, and I have to say, I totally understand Blair. Like, I just feel like if I am not your first priority, I am just not going to waste the space and just go. So he comes back. I mean, she still really loves him, and yeah, she understands that Nan has issues because Nan has issues. So yeah, they get married. That's basically how it ends, and she has a baby boy. So yeah. That's kind of where the story went. And I got 3 stars. And can we just say, I feel like this series is just like, I don't technically like it, but I have to know what is, happening next. So yeah. And then I finished The Artist's Way, which basically is, it's just like Julia Cameron is basically like talking about how to get you more creative, and that's kind of what it is. Then I finished Guarding Temptation, and this is basically about this, I don't remember her name or his name, but basically she's getting threats and he takes her in. He is her brother's best friend. And basically, he likes her, but he don't want to, it's a whole mess over there with, kind of like, just talk to each other. I mean, just use your mouth and talk about things. He's basically, is this whole thing where basically they sleep together, and basically he says that we shouldn't have done that. She gets pissed, and they don't talk to each other for like a few weeks. And then they move in together, and they are, yeah, he's just like, we are going to try and be platonic. And did you think that was going to happen? No, no, it didn't. So yeah, it was a short, fun book. So yeah. Then I read Adulthood is a Myth, and can we just say this book was so relatable with everything that she said. And yeah, so it was really, really relatable, and it was a lot of fun reading this short, like, graphic novel. So yeah. Then I read One Piece, Volume 3, and it was good. I really like One Piece. I am like going along in a slow pace, just because there are so many that I don't feel like I need to rush through them. So yeah. Then I read Recipe for Mr. Right, and I didn't like it. I don't know. It was just like this whole thing with basically you didn't get any like let's call it a notification when the what's it called, when the narrator shifted, and basically it took some time before you understood that, oh, it's a different people, like a different person we are actually in here for now. And I feel like this book would have been much better if there was like a full cast, like you have different people from the for different people, because then I feel like I would get like more like, oh, now we have change, now I know that we are, yeah. And you know, you learn who is the narrator for each and every single one. So I didn't love this. Might have been much better, you know, if I could actually, you know, really fully, yeah, just follow along. Then I read Strung Along, and this is a cowboy romance about this woman who basically finds her boyfriend, in a bed with another woman. So she decides that she's just going to leave, and basically she goes to this small place where basically there is this musician, like this country star, and he is basically there because he has ruined his voice. So he's there to, you know, work on his grandparents' farm until he's great enough to go. And he's basically, they don't get up on the right foot just because he actually thinks that she is kind of just there for him in the beginning, like meet him. And he soon figures out that that is not true. He basically misjudged her, and now he's trying to make it up to her. And yeah, I really like this. I mean, there have been like a few people don't like it. I really liked it though. So yeah, I can't wait to continue on with this series. And we kind of like the ending. We kind of got the setup for the next book. Then I read Rush Too Far. And in this one, it's basically rush aside to the first Fallen Too Far book. And here we basically see whatever Rush was thinking during that time. And it's interesting. And yeah. But you know, there is nothing new in this. Then I finished Northanger Abbey, which is a Jane Austen book. It's a classic. It took some time to actually finish this, but I'm really happy that I finished it. And yeah, now I am probably going to, you know, watch some TV shows or something, a TV show, movie or something about this series, just so I can, you know, grasp it even more, just because I feel like I can really like a classic, but I, you know, really fully understand it once I watch an adaptation, because my brain capacity is not the best, you know, for following along whatever you need to, you know, get to. So yeah. Then I finished The First Time I Saw Him, and this is basically yeah, it's for the last thing he told me. It's basically the continuation station for that. I don't even know why I even tried to read this one, because I didn't like the first book, I didn't like the second book. And I don't even know what else I'm going to say about it. I didn't like it. And yeah, so that's kind of how my story went with that. It was short though, and I needed to read a GoodReads winner, and it was a GoodReads winner, and it was fine, but 2 stars, didn't love it. Yeah. And then we get to the one that I have the most to talk about. Baked with Love. And this is his second book. I read the first one last week. The Girl I Was Before. And in this one, basically, Lily and Sam are now together. They have been. It's like 2 years after, I think. And basically, Sam has to go for 6 months and work in New York, and a lot of things happened. Can we just say that? So, first thing first, Sam is basically very slow with actually telling Lily that, hey, I need to go to New York. Basically, he wanted to wait until he knew for sure that he was going to have to go there. And I am just like, I feel like the first thing that you should say to your girlfriend who, you live with is actually, hey, there is a possibility that I need to go to New York for 6 months to work. And I just feel like that would have been very nice of him to, say, instead of saying, yeah, I leave in a few weeks or days. I don't even remember at this point. And I'm just like, it would have been really nice to, know that beforehand, instead of you just being very afraid of telling me. Because I would have loved to know that before, And then, basically, he's going with his coworker, Jane. And they spend a lot of time together, and he hasn't told anything about this girl, like this coworker Jane. And Lily is really insecure because in the first one, basically her husband of 3 months cheats on her. And basically, she gets like really insecure just because they post pictures together and they are together at like all the time. And basically, then it happens that basically she calls Sam and Sam answers. It's like 6 a.m. So it's early in the morning, and basically she hears that Jane is talking in the background. And then he proceeds to say, can we just say, this was the exact words that Mark used on her, and that was, I can explain. And I feel like if she haven't, been through this one time before, I feel like she would have maybe, been like, okay, explain really quickly. But Lily is just like, instantly like, shit, he cheats on me. This is great. And basically, she is all sad and things. And basically, he tries to reach her because Jane is gay. And I feel like, wouldn't that have been a very nice detail to tell your girlfriend before you went? Like, hey, I need to go to New York with this coworker of mine. This is Jane. Like, actually, like, I don't know. Say that, yeah. But you have nothing to worry about because she's gay. I mean, yes, you don't have to like talk about people like that. You don't have to say like that anyone is gay, but I just feel like he knows that she has some really like deep troubles. Like I think that she would have been very nicely if she took her time to go to a psychologist and talk about it. But that's besides the point, babes. Basically, it would have been nice, to know that this is my coworker that I spend a lot of time with when I'm over in New York, but she is gay. You have nothing to worry about. just because, she's so worried. And yeah, it's just. And then basically, she goes to meet him in New York. They have a great time. He proposes. She says yes. But I feel like it might become like that she's really, really stressed because she has just opened a bakery. That is why she's not with him. She has opened a bakery and basically it's not going very well. So she's super, super stressed. And she has just so much on her that she feels no joy when they get engaged. So I just think that she's too stressed to even feel great. And then Sam comes home and basically he don't even kind of like listens to her. He don't listen to her and basically just breaks it off just because she says that I don't feel at this point like I am super happy that we're getting married and he wants to get married and he's just like, I'm done. I break up with you. She gets devastated again. And basically at this time, she finds out that she's pregnant. And this just became a lot. And basically, she decides to not call him until it's like, I don't know, it's been a little while, not a long while. It's been like maybe, I don't know, 2 weeks or something when she calls him. And he don't want to talk to her. He don't answer. That is very important, by the way. He don't answer her. He don't answer his phone when she calls. So basically she calls his job, gives a fake name. And then she basically is Lily. And he's just like, I don't want to talk to you. I have moved on. And can we just say, at this point, I was super sad for her. And I was just like, this actually might be a 4 stars. Because I was so sad for her. I was devastated for her when he said that. And I was just like, it's been 2 weeks and you have already moved on. I was so angry and so like sad for her. And then, yeah, she's very sad, very devastated. And yeah. And then, there's so much. It's 250 pages and I feel like it's been a while. So, basically, let's just quickly talk about this. Basically, Frankie, which is Lily's best friend, basically, after a while, she basically calls Sam and it's just, I don't really know what she said, but she's like, Lily's pregnant, just so you know. And then he comes back home. And basically, you get to know that, no, he went out with, like, this woman twice, but he didn't really feel right about it. And I'm just like, why lie then? Why lie and say that I have moved on? Just don't call me again. And I'm just like, that's very rude. And then he proceeds. When she's like, he's just like, how long have you known? A month. And then he proceeds to say, why didn't you tell me? And I'm just like, when? How? You don't even want to talk to her. And then you proceeds to say, why didn't you tell me? Like, how is she supposed to do that when you're not picking up your phone? How is she supposed to actually, tell you about, hey, I'm pregnant? Like, she was supposed to do that when she called you, and you basically said that, I moved on. And she's just like, nah, I'm not gonna tell you then. So yeah, and then this is like at the end. And basically there are like, I feel like this book should have kind of had like, I don't know, at least like 50 more pages where he does some more groveling, because she is just like, ask me to marry me. Ask me again if I want to marry you. And I'm just like, at this point, I am just annoyed. I give it 3 stars just because overall I really did like it. I was just annoyed. And basically yesterday I was just like, I finished this quite early and I was just like, I was like gnawing at this, and I'm just like, I'm annoyed. I want more. Can we just say that? I wanted some more groveling just because I feel like, and some more talking. And can we just say, the miscommunications, I feel like, yeah, and basically, she's telling Frankie, like this is the reason why I think this is the reason why I didn't want to get married. And she, like, not want to get married, but like, I feel no joy at this point. And Frankie is just like, why don't you tell him, or did you tell him that? And I'm just like, no, because he basically didn't make room for that conversation. And I just feel like they're basically both shit at communicating. I feel like, I mean, if they had just had a normal, maybe a little longer conversation where he actually asks, can you tell me why you don't feel excited about this? So she actually could have talked about it, because she apparently had some thoughts about it, but apparently she didn't say any one of those. And I'm just like, why? So yeah, that was kind of my week. So yeah, this was definitely something, yeah. So they get married and everything, and I'm just like, I could have easily like had 50 more pages where I actually got to know more. I don't know, some groveling, some normal grown up conversations, because they are both over 30, and I'm just like, since when? I mean, why are we so shit as communicating? Like, misunderstandings, like, all the way. And I'm just like, I really, yeah, miscommunications are definitely one thing that I get so annoyed at, especially like to this extent, just because there was just like so many big misunderstandings in this whole thing, and that annoys me. I mean, I do get, yes, there can be some minor like miscommunications things going on in a book, but these were really large ones that ended up with them breaking up, and I didn't feel like I kind of grasped at the end, why did they get married? Can we just say that? I mean, yes, they did love each other, but I just feel like there definitely was some more conversations to have before they basically decided to tie the knot. So that was my week. What have I can we just say, for what I have watched this week, it has kind of been all over, with me trying to. So I have one called Later, which basically is like these massive, like with 1200 like videos where I just watch here and there. And then I have like the Watch Later, which is currently like growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm just like, I have so much to watch, and I don't know how much I can watch. And yeah, it's been stressful this week. But yeah, that was my end of January. So yeah, I hope you liked this video. I will see you next time for another one. Bye!